Hi guys.
Anyway, welcome. So Boon is going to show us how to make dumplings and wontons. So the folding, the techniques for you guys.
Well, thank you guys for coming. Well, I've just been doing it as we're talking, and here's one done. Okay, dumplings is a bless you, whoever that is. It's a major thing for the Chinese. It goes back many years ago, and they would eat dumpling as a meal or just as a add on as a supplement. And there is a slight difference between wonton, which is the skin that is like that and usually is square, and if you buy it, usually it's yellow in color, because normally there's supposed to be egg in this pastry. Whereas if you do dumplings, if you buy it, it tends to be white and round like that. And with the wonton skin, it's much easier to buy because you do want it very thin.
No, just for a short time. I'll drive you round.
Excuse me, anyone not on mute?
Hen, remember all the times that you get sad when you
Just trying to
contact your car and he says no?
I don't care.
Oh, hang on. Boon, can you unmute yourself now, please? I've muted everybody else.
I've forgotten to mute themselves.
Perfect.
Mute. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So back to the one dumpling skin commercially. You can buy them, but the commercial dumpling skin is very thick and it makes it very hard to shape it the way I show you. If you do a simple shaping, that's fine. But if you want to do a bit of a pattern, then it's harder. But buy it if you don't want to make. But it's really easy to make the wrappers, which I assume those who are doing along with me have found. It's literally flour, water, a bit of a salt, and it's like 1.5 to 1. So if you find it dry, because every flour is different, if you find it too dry, just add a bit more water. Then if it's too wet, just add a bit more flour. Really, there is, and then as long as you feel that it's soft and easy to manage, that's all it needs to be. It doesn't have to be perfect in any way. So once you get the pastry, you make it into a log like this, and then you just cut it into pieces and then form it into little balls like this. All right. And each piece is about 10 grams maximum. You don't want them to be too big. You don't want them too small either. Too small makes it hard to wrap. Too big is a bit clumsy looking. Okay. So I have done the pastry ahead, and my fillings, the fillings can be anything and everything that you feel like it. This is chicken with mushrooms. I'll show you. It's dried shiitake mushroom that I have soaked and diced, and then just spring onions. Then I've made another filling that is pork and prawns. Irene, you may get to taste some afterwards. And so you can do it any way you like. And typically the seasoning is oyster sauce, soy sauce, sesame oil, and some cooking wine, Chinese cooking wine. But you don't have to have all of that. And then pepper if you want pepper. But if you want to, you can add anything else. You can add carrots, you can add wongbok, which is a Chinese cabbage. And these fillings can be used for wonton or dumplings, really. It really doesn't matter. So let's start with just the wonton. The way typically the wonton is being wrapped, you take a small amount of meat. When you are new at it, make it small amount, because otherwise you will find that the meat oozes out everywhere. Am I going too fast for those who are going along with me? Oh, sorry. Do you want me to show you how to roll out the pastry? Let me.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, let me show you how to roll out the pastry first. I'll bring my camera down. All right. So with a piece of pastry, all you have to do is flatten it with your hand, a bit of a flour so that it doesn't stick. And then you literally just roll it. I've got a small rolling pin, which makes it easy to handle. But if you've got a big rolling pin, it doesn't matter. And you want the edges of the dough to be as thin as you can. So you hold one side of it and you roll it inwards towards the middle, turn it around, flip it around like that. And then you just roll it. And then here you go, you get a piece. It doesn't have to be perfectly round because it's soft. You can just pull it into shape easily. I'll just do it one more time. Here we go.
And just for everyone that's watching it, she's making the edge thinner because that's the bit that you're going to fold together, and therefore you'll get an even consistency. So it's thicker in the middle, quite thin on the edges. And then as she folds it, you'll get those gorgeous folds. So you get a nice even consistency throughout it.
Right, I'll do one more. And as I say, it doesn't really have to be that round, doesn't matter. You watch as you fold it, you can just pull it into shape. Okay, so that's all. And this is, actually, this is a little bit small. This is a good size to be. All right, so to wrap it, you get a bit of the meat, put it right in the middle, push it down a little bit, squash it down. I use an ice cream stick, which is really good to squash it down. If you haven't got one, just teaspoon is fine as well. Then you fold it in the middle, pinch the middle together. Your hands have to be dry, okay? Because if your hands are wet, your dough is going to stick on your hand and stick. Pinch the middle, lift up the top piece and fold it and pinch it down. Same thing again, lift, pinch. I don't know if you can see, I'm trying to move my hand away from blocking, and then you just.
It looks good, Boon.
Okay. And then this side, you do the same, except you face it inwards, all right? Lift it up, pinch it down, lift it up, pinch it down, and then one more fold. And then once you got it like that, you just put it down and shape it into typical dumpling shape like that.
It's amazing.
So here you go. Now, for those who don't want to go through this fanciful way of folding, really you can do it simply, all right? You can literally have a piece like that, have a meat like, have the filling right in the middle. And really, all you have to do is bring it together and just squash up all the sides together. And that is just as good. And if you just stand it up and turn it around and shape it, it's the same. It's just that it's just a little bit plain in that sense. So I'll do one more with the folding. So the softer your dough is, the easier it is to fold. The commercial ones, to be honest, it is very hard to make that little pattern as we go because it is quite thick and quite stiff. So one more time. So as you can push it down like that. Mix, pinch, fold, fold, pinch, fold, pinch. And then you seal the end, and the same on the other side. Here you go, another one.
Wonderful.
Now, so let's do the wonton now.
Hang on, before you go on to the wonton, or I can't pronounce it properly, the anglicized wonton. With the dumplings, can you make those money bag dumplings out of that as well?
Yes, you can. All right, let's finish all the dumplings then before we do wonton. All right. So if you do money bags, same thing. You just have a piece. I'll just flatten this piece a bit. So, all right. The meat in the middle. And then what you do is pinch it. Pinch, bring the side in. Bring the side in and all pinch right in the middle. And then you seal the side.
Mm.
Except that traditionally, Chinese dumplings are not shaped like that, but there's no reason why you can't shape it like that.
Right.
Here you go.
Cool.
So it is really easy. And the truth is that, as I said, you can make any shape. Nobody cares. Once you eat it, it's the same anyway.
That's right. But obviously the most important thing is to have a pliable dough.
Yes, you really want your dough soft like that, okay? I made a batch earlier that is a bit drier, and every batch can be different because the flour really makes a difference. This batch, I don't know if you can see the difference. This one I made earlier is not as soft as this other one that I made the second batch of. And all because of the amount of water you add in your dough. When you want to steam the dumpling, you would make your dough with boiling hot water. But if you want to boil your dumpling, because dumplings can be eaten any way you fancy. If you want to boil your dumpling to eat them in soup, then you can make your dough in cold water, with cold water. And when you make the dough with cold water, the dough tends to be drier and firmer. Whereas you make it with hot water, because it is semi-cooked, so it's a bit softer.
Can you, sorry, say that again about the differences, why you'd use cold water and why you'd use hot water?
If you want to eat your dumpling in hot soup, with say noodles or not, doesn't matter, but in the soup form, you can do the dough with cold water. Because as you boil it, your pastry, your outer skin will cook nicely in that boiling water. Whereas if you steam it, you tend to make your dough with hot water so that it's semi-cooked dough. Then when you steam, it doesn't take as long to cook the dough. Okay. And it's the same as for the Japanese gyoza. Japanese gyoza, you actually fry it a little first, and then you cover it with some water in it, and then it steams it. And I will show you that afterwards once we get a few going.
Cool. I had a really good question, but it's gone out of my head. It'll come back. I know what it was. How hot does the water have to be? Well,
literally boiling water. So
boiling water.
Yeah, that's why you don't actually, with the Thermomix is perfect, because you mix it in the Thermomix. With the Asians who don't have Thermomixes in the good old days, they will use a chopstick to stir the flour as they add the boiling water.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, otherwise it would be just hands. Any other questions?
Yes, if anybody's got questions, please feel free to come off mute as long as you mute yourself back on afterwards, please.
Do you want me to show the money bag one more time?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so same thing. Pinch it, but this time you bring the side up and you pinch it towards the middle. Bring this other side up, pinch towards the middle, and then you seal the sides. And then you just shape it nicely. Here you go.
Yeah, perfect.
Really simple.
So those of you who are cooking along, is anyone doing the dumplings or are you doing wontons? I can't see. Dumplings. Oh, look at you, Carmel. Excellent.
Yeah, hooray. Can she show us?
Oh yeah, hang on. Let's have a look. Hold on. I will there we go. Yeah, you're on mute, Carmel, so you can unmute yourself. Kelly's making wontons. Thank you. Carmel, show us what you've made. Well done. Oh, we can't hear you. You're on mute. But anyway, looks good. Still on mute. Anyway, good on you. Is
there anyone else who maybe joined us a bit late that's cooking along that needs to see Boon do another fold? Anyone at all? Come off mute and just let us know so we can get her to help you.
I did come in a bit late. What sort of flour do you use?
Just plain flour.
Just plain flour. Doesn't have to be anything fancy.
No, the Asian shops will sell flour with the pattern and with the photo of the dumpling in the front, but honestly, it's no difference. It's just plain flour with maybe some salt that they sell commercially, but you can add your own salt anyway.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, also we've got someone's, Robin's made dough, but we'll make the pork and cabbage dumplings with her daughter after this. So she's
excellent.
And can you demonstrate the twisted style like the soup dumpling?
Twisted style like the soup dumpling. Not sure what is meant by the twisted style.
Well, actually, anyway, we also have a request for one more fold. So if you want to do that, and then we'll see what Karen means by the twisted style.
Okay, all right. Let's see if Karen comes back and see what's twisted style. All right, I'll do another standard regular fold first. As I said, if you're new at it, don't put too much fillings. But if you are, adventurous, do, because once the meat, the filling touches the edges of the wrapper, it's hard to seal them. So having less meat just helps it from, oozing up. All right, so here we go. We pinch in the middle, take and fold the top piece and pinch it down towards the bottom. Repeat a second fold and repeat a third fold. All right, and then you seal the end, and it's the same for this side. You take the top, you fold it in, take another piece, fold it in. See, my hand's a bit wet there, and then another piece and fold it in. And don't worry, it's out of shape, because then you place it down and then you just shape it into the typical dumpling shape.
Perfect. Thank you. Karen, Dale, if you'd like to take yourself off mute and just talk to us about what you're looking for, please. There she is.
Yep. This is the one. See.
I can't see actually.
Hang on. It's just
if you spotlight her, maybe. Okay. Oh, okay. This is the wonton one.
Yes,
all right.
one.
Okay, I'll show you the wonton in a
Oh,
minute.
is it?
Yes, that is
Okay,
typically
that's all right. I
wonton.
wasn't sure.
Yes. And this is called
Yes.
xiaolong bao, which is the dumpling style, which I can show you a dumpling, that one, the xiaolong bao one.
hang
So-
on, hold on. Let me just make you yeah, okay. Go for
Okay,
it.
to do the xiaolong bao normally means there's some gravy in it once it's cooked. And the proper way to do that gravy is like making gel, like gelatin gel, and then you put the piece as you wrap it. But I don't have that, so I'm not doing that. But we can wrap it any way, as I said. So to do that, you start off same, and you just gather it as you go. I might have too much meat for this purpose. I might take off some first. And here you go. So you make into a little round shape like that.
Wow. Do you want to do
Okay.
one more of those, Boon?
Yes.
please?
All right. I'll do one more.
Boon makes it look so easy.
She does, doesn't she?
She's had years of practice, and I tell you what, it ain't that easy.
Well, I have a
Just,
few years ahead of all of you, I think.
That's why when she's making dumplings, like, okay, you make them, I'll eat them. Just in terms of the soup, so the xiaolong bao, when you go to the Chinese restaurants, it's got like soup inside the dumpling,
Yes.
which is delicious.
Yes.
Basically, you can do something as simple as chicken stock, but it needs gelatin,
Yes.
not agar or different types. You need it to melt. So gelatin will, once it's heated, what essentially happens is the gelatin melts and the soup stays inside the dumpling to eat, which is absolutely delicious. So very worthwhile. They basically you can do chicken stock, beef stock. It's usually an infused Chinese soup, which has had gelatin added, solidified, and then you cut it into little cubes and pop it inside with your mixture.
Or sometimes a little secret, you know how you buy a roast chicken and then the base is all the sauce of that chicken.
Oh, the gelatinous, yeah.
Keep that gelatin thing and then put
Yeah.
a piece in there as you
Yep.
go. The another trick a Chinese friend told me, which I never knew before until now. She said that you could mix ginger and spring onion, like in the Thermomix, with water, just a little bit, don't flood it, just a little bit, and mix it until it's fine. And then you squeeze the juice of that mixture, and then you can either discard those spring onion and ginger, or you can use it in your cooking, and then add that liquid into your filling mix. She said that it does make your filling a lot moist, and therefore a little bit like the xiaolong bao way.
Thank
Okay,
you. We've got
let's-
another question here. Someone Anne arrived late. How big are the dumpling wrappers, please? So Boon is rolling them out herself. How big? Well, size of your hand, the palm of your hand.
Well, basically this size, yes, like on my
Yeah.
palm like that, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the truth is this, Too small is too hard to wrap, especially if you're a beginner. And
Yeah.
too big is just a bit clumsy. That means your end result looks a little bit, I don't know what you call it, stocky or whatever. It just looks huge and it just doesn't look as nice.
Yeah.
All right. Let's try the xiao long bao way and one more time. So the xiao long bao way, you do leave a lot more space around. You take up one end and then you fold and you bring the pastry in. You fold, you bring the pastry in. And as you do that, you just cup your hand more so that it stays cupped that way.
And we're all beginners, apart from Boon.
And you can either leave the tip or you can actually break it off. It's entirely up to you. And here we go. If I had a slightly firmer pastry, I can actually leave a hole in the middle, but this is quite soft pastry, so I can't quite do it that way. Here we go. This is not the best, but that's as best as I can do it.
It's amazing. All right, so anyone got any other questions about dumplings or the folding of those? You need to see anything else again, or are you good?
Should I roll out the pastry one more time for, is it Anne or
Yeah, do
whoever's
that.
the
Yes.
late
Yes.
arrival?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So once you make the dough, form it into a thin log like this, all right? And then you cut them into pieces and then you just flatten it. Oops. Sorry, here I am. So you just flatten it and you just literally roll it out. Then you hold one end, you want to roll inward so that your outer part of the wrapper is thin so that you can then form the shape, whatever shape, so that it's much easier to manage with a thin edge.
Cool. Boom, we've got another question. Is it best to refrigerate them for a while after you make them before cooking or not?
No, you can cook them straight away, but you do want to cover them once you make them. I've got them at the side here with a tea towel covering it because otherwise the skin do get quite dry.
Yeah, cool.
Boon, you're taking orders, it seems.
Yes, if anybody's interested. No kidding. I won't have time to do so many. Actually, typically a family, when they do a dumpling, it's a family affair. I'm sure it's like the Italians or the Greeks when they do whatever that is their dish. It's a family affair. Everybody sits there and everybody helps to do it.
That's a nice bonding thing.
Yeah. Now I'll just show you a fanciful one. And to be honest, if you're Google, you'll find, just say shaping of dumplings, you'll find lots of Google. Show you a fanciful one. This one, you push, you nip it, then you push it inwards and you catch one side with it and still pushing it forward all the time, all right? As you catch a side in, you push it forward. Now this is a slightly drier pastry, so it's a bit harder for me to beef. Let me take away a bit of a meat, a bit too much. See what happens when you have too much? You get a bit oozing up, so you just take it off. And then I taper it off. This is the shape of a leaf.
Oh, wow.
So
fantastic.
So you can do different shape if you have got different feelings. Like I once made for a friend, a couple, and one's the vegetarian and one wants meat. So, you know, I use this for all the meat and I use that simple, straightforward one for all the vegetarian. Then that way they can never mix up which is which.
We've got a request if you could do that one again, please.
Okay.
Well, you are the master.
Oh, well, I wouldn't call myself the master, but I suppose I do have a bit more experience than the rest of you.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have a hope in hell. I can do the wontons, but I can't do the dumplings.
All right, let me show you that one more time.
And Boon, are they different fillings for different occasions or times of the year or anything like that? Or it's just whatever you want to use?
Whatever you want. Typically it's pork, all right? Typically it's pork and Chinese cabbage, the wong bok. But nah, it could be any fillings. All right, let's try one more time. Okay, I'll try not to have so much fillings this time.
Robin's saying she can't believe how easy the dough is to make in the Thermomix and how pliable it is.
It is much, 100, in fact, 1,000 times better than to buy. The box store ones are very tough and very hard to shape. If you just want simple, clip on and that's it, that's fine with the store bought. All right, so that way you clip at the back here, just fold at the back here so that you get a little catch, and then you move it forward as you pull in the side. Move it forward, pull in the other side. Right, move it forward, pull in the side, move it forward, pull in this other side. I still have too much meat, hang on.
And we are recording this. I'll make sure everyone who's on here gets the link to the recording so you can go back and have another look.
It is very hard to show without my big fat hands, fingers in the way. Here we go.
Oh, it's so pretty. That's great.
It is very pretty. This is very pretty. And to be honest, this took me a while to learn. Okay, I think, have we got more questions about dumplings? If not, let's do wontons.
Yeah. And any more about anything else anyone wants to know about dumplings? Or we'll move on.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we wonton, as I said, we wonton just by the skin, much easier. All right. And I personally found this brand to be pretty good, which is Da Hong Tang, which is a Vietnamese brand. But some brands are, the skin is a bit more yellow, and I'm not sure if it's just an alkaline water or something else they add that is more yellow. But anyway, it's easier to buy the skin for wonton. All right, so with wonton, what you do, this is now I'm using pork and prawns. So you put the meat into one corner, and then you fold that corner in and tuck it in. All right, so that it is not loose, it won't come out. You turn it around, you seal the side a little bit, just pushing it down. And this one, you need a bit of a water. You wet one end and you pull this other end, and then you clip it. And then this is how it's typically, this is how wonton looks.
That's fantastic. You might have to do that a few times.
Yes. All right, I'll do that a few more times. And wonton again, you can do it, not a lot of choice in terms of pattern compared to dumplings. In fact, with this wonton skin, you can do the typical yam cha siu mai, the siu mai dish for yam cha. All right, so in a corner, tuck it in. Again, don't you take too much fillings if you are first time and you're not sure how to do it. Tuck it in and then seal it just with your hands like that. Okay, and then turn it around, a bit of a water, and you bring this other end together. So the thing, when it's finished, you bring up that side, it looks like that. The other simple way is, I'll show you one more. So same thing, you just, from one end, you just roll it up. And then you can literally just push it around like that. Seal it with a bit of water and clip it together, and it looks supposed to look more like a crown. So it's just a piece like that.
I like the other one better.
Yeah, and look, it's not difficult. I'll do one more of the other one. And with this, I guess with wonton, you can make the money back too. But again, that's not the common shape that people do. People tend to do it. People tend to do the first one, the first pattern, same thing. All right, so at the corner, bring it in, tuck the end of the pastry in, seal it with your hand. Wet one corner, bring the other corner in, And then you do need the water to hold the skin together. Sometimes even when you cook it, it will still come off, but just too bad.
Okay, so those of you making the wontons, how are you going? Are you good? Are you know what you're doing? You know how to fold them now? Anyone got any questions?
I'm not sure if it's Karen or Corinne Plummer. It's like she's got the whole family on board.
Yes.
Wow.
Let's have a look at you guys. Hang on.
I think my daughter might have the gift. I made one of these ones. You can't really see it. Hang on, pretend. Hello.
Good on you. Were you doing
It's
it for
a
fun?
little like money bag one. with
Oh
some-
yeah.
Looks
Fantastic.
good.
Cool. And Karen, what do you make? Are you doing dumplings or wontons?
I'm doing like, I've just kind of got like whatever I can manage to hold together. So
Can't really see very well. The light's not good, but anyway.
it's like,
Good on you for having a go.
yes.
Look,
That's
And
fantastic.
Harvey's getting through, aren't you?
Yeah, good on you, mate.
like,
All right.
like anything, really, it's just
Anything.
practice. Yeah,
That's
you
right.
do
As
what
long as
you
I
want.
hold together.
No,
So we've got a corny joke here. Yeah, families make dumplings together, stick together.
Robin, time to zoom into Robin. She wants to show us all the lovely stuff.
Okay, yeah, we'll I don't know. Oh, hang on. Oh, look at those.
again, please. I missed it. Very good.
Yeah,
Well done,
Very
Robin.
good.
excellent. Kelly had put you on the spot. How are you going there? Hang on. Oh, nice.
Nice. It is
very,
nice.
Very
Fancy.
good. Amazing.
Mm, excellent.
Now, if anyone wants to do the yum cha siu mai style, it's literally a piece
Hang
with the
on.
meat in the middle, and you literally just push up the side and then leave it open, and then you steam it like that. All right. So you leave it open. You kind of use the pastry to hold the sides together, and then you flatten it. Hang on, let me sit it down as a base, like that, and then you steam it. And this is the yum cha siu mai. That's exactly what it is.
So you sort of make it into a little cup in a way. Just
Yeah,
to
it's
hold
like
the
a little cup. Yes. This for some reason, I think nowadays everyone does things differently. This is not quite as square as it should be. It should really be a square. This is slightly out of a square, not square enough. But if you have a full square, and then when you form it like that, you literally, let me do it one more time. All right, you literally place it. All right, literally place all the fillings right in the middle of the piece, and literally just bring it up and make it into a cup like that, and then flatten it, and then you just steam it, and that's it. So you place all of them in the steamer, and then you get your siu mai.
Fantastic. So, and what are you going to? How are you going to cook yours? Are you going to steam them, or are you
Okay.
putting them in soup, or what are you going to do?
I was going to do it gyoza style. Let me just start my pot now. Any other questions before I show you the gyoza style? Anyone?
Oh, hang
Oh,
on.
actually-
Robin's got a question. Unmute yourself, Robin. And
Hello, thank you, Boon.
You're
Just
welcome.
a question about the shiitake dried mushrooms.
Yes.
I noticed that you said to pre-steam them, whereas the cookie dough doesn't say to do that. Would you like to make a comment on that?
This is the dried shiitake mushroom, okay?
Yep.
They do sell fresh ones. So if it is fresh ones, you just have to dice it and use it. But because this is dry, you have to soak it first. All I did was just soak it in water. And then when it is soft, I just cut it up, dice it like that.
Okay,
And-
thank you.
yeah. And you can use it straight away. Once it's diced, you can just use it straight away. It's pretty bland on its own. So after I dice it, I will dribble a little bit of a soy sauce on it so that it's not so bland when you bite into it.
Okay.
Now, one thing I forgot to tell you, for wonton, if you don't want to do the slightly fanciful way, you can have it like this, all right? Just same fillings like that. And you get the corners to meet, some water for all the edges, and then you just seal them. And this is, quite a reasonable looking wonton too.
Mm.
But
Okay.
if you want to form that little shape, and even after this, if you want, after you do this, then you can actually seal it up like that. And then it's a bit like what I was showing you earlier too.
Yeah,
It's a bit
the
like
crown
that. But
one. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, similar way.
Cool.
Now, all right, let me show you. I think my pot is going. Hang on. Let me. All right, I'm gonna bring up my camera here. So this is all that I've. Can you see? This is all that I've made so far. Right?
Yeah.
I can't even see it. Okay. All right. This is all I made so far.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is, now pardon the funny view that you are seeing now. Okay, so I have a pot of oil, just a bit of oil, not terribly much oil. I'm going on, and once it's warm up, what I do is that I will place these dumplings into it.
Oh, we've lost you. Lost
Yeah,
your visual.
hang
Okay.
on. Let me get
Getting
back in.
sorted.
All right,
Yeah,
here we
okay.
go. All right, now can you see? I'm trying to see the pot myself. I
Yes,
can't even
yeah, we
see.
can see it. We can see it.
Okay, so it is heating up quite nicely with the oil in it. All right, so once it's warm, it is quite warm. I can feel the heat. I turn it down and I'll place this in. All right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see them sizzling.
Yes. And you can hear it too, I hope.
Oh, sort of. So after you've done this, I'm probably jumping ahead, but do you serve them, if you don't put them in a soup, do you serve them with extra soy sauce, or what do you do?
Yes, I was just going to talk about that in a minute. Let me just get this going.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got this going. I assume you can see it, and I
Yes.
let it brown, okay? And I'll tell you how brown you should really get, and just have the flame down a little bit so you don't burn the base. Okay. In terms of the dipping sauce, you can buy it, either something, as long as you show some dumpling, that's right. But I like to buy the Japanese gyoza type, right? Because they have added mirin and a few other stuff. If you don't want to buy it, what I do is I love this red vinegar, and I would put this red vinegar with a bit of ginger, and I'll show you how I do it. So let me put my camera down. I have very thinly, finely sliced ginger like that. Just finely sliced ginger, that's all it is. And then I would just add you can use black vinegar or red vinegar, the Chinese black vinegar. All right, I just add this red vinegar and a tiny bit of soy sauce. And that's how you eat it. You just dip in this and that's it. Of course, for those who like to eat some spicy chili, you can add any spicy chili in it that you fancy.
Fantastic.
And actually, traditionally, they would use black vinegar, not red vinegar, but I like red vinegar better. Black vinegar, I think, is a bit harsh. It's a bit strong. So I like the red vinegar better. All right, let's try, have a look at the dumplings. Can you see? Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, so if you take one up and have a look at the bottom, so this is not very brown yet. So I will, because I'm looking after it now, I will put up the flame a bit more. And when it gets to the desired brown, I would then just add water and then put on the lid. So all of this is just cooking the base. It goes brown quite quickly, so you don't want to turn up and then walk away. You want to hang around here.
Kelly's asking, do we brown the bottom of the wontons as well?
No, wontons, you don't do it this way. Wontons, either you deep fry the whole wonton or you just put it into boiling water. Wonton is never served this way. This is only served for dumplings, are only served like that. Wonton, just boiling water. You can then scoop up. with wonton, once the water is boiled, you put on the pot of water. Once it's boiled, you throw your wonton in. Don't throw, if you got 20, don't throw 20, throw like 4 or 5. Of course, depends on how big your pot is. Once they float, then it is cooked.
Perfect. And Boon, sometimes you see dumplings, they probably are, you know, more like those money bag ones, and they're all crispy all over. Are they put in the oven, or how are they cooked?
No, they are all deep fried.
All deep fried. Okay,
Yeah.
cool for you. Yeah.
Yeah, any of those you see, they are all deep fried, because in the oven they will never be crispy like that.
Yeah, cool.
So you see, can you see the brownness now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want it to be about this brown. You don't want it too brown, but again, my oven, not oven, my stove fire is obviously not even. Some are more brown than others. But once you get like even brownness, my oven is crap, my stove is crap.
And
Right, so
you're just browning the bottom. You're not browning.
yes, I'm browning the bottom, and then once it's brown enough, which at the moment it is, because we are still going to cook more. We are not finished with cooking. I now will put in hot water. This is just from my flask, hot water. So a fair amount, and then I'll cover it. And this is where it will steam the top part of the wrapper. Because
how long do they take?
this will take about 8 to 10 minutes.
Right. And okay, and you just know that because that's how long it takes, or is there a way you can check that they're done, or?
No, unfortunately, you can use a fork or something to poke at it to see how you think if the wrapper is soft or not. Yeah. But usually also by the color. So like right now, because I've just covered it, I don't really want to open it, because right now you can see it's still like whitish. But once it's a bit cooked, it's more like, you know, opaque kind of a color than white.
They become a little bit translucent, don't they?
Yeah, a little bit more translucent. Yeah, that's a better word. Yeah. And then we can have fun. So with wonton, as I said, with dumpling, you can actually steam it if you prefer. So, you know, if you put in your varoma, lay some, you know, wrapping baking paper, and then you can steam it. But many people prefer it either just boil, or like what I'm doing now, like the gyoza style. You fry a bit and then you somehow steam on its own. Don't seem to be as popular.
So Boon, thinking,
okay, just get a little bit of flour on your face on the other side.
I've got flour everywhere. I've got flour everywhere.
So just thinking, if you had a blade cover, could you boil them in the Thermomix?
Yes, you can. Or you can put it in your basket as well.
That's true.
In the varoma. You can't do it in the varoma?
Yeah, but we're just talking about the boiling actually being.
Yeah, we are.
Immersed.
Varoma is to steam, not to boil. Yes. But yes, with a blade cover, yes, you can, or otherwise in the basket. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Now, how's everybody going out there with your creations? Oh yeah, Robin with a Y is big thumbs up.
Excellent.
The plumbers look as though they're going well there. Kelly, how are you going? Good. Oh my goodness, look at you. Hang on. We're gonna share the spotlight here. Show us again.
Wow.
Yeah. Very nice.
Good.
Well done.
Very good.
Well done. Excellent.
Now, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is how it's looking now. Hang on. Let me take my camera away first.
Yeah.
See, it's getting a little bit looking like it's cooked, and there's still water. So if you don't again, with water, to be honest, it's really a matter of practice. If you put the right amount of water, once the water has all, you know, gone, you can feel that. I mean, it's quite safe that it is cooked.
Yeah, great. Okay, all right. Okay, anybody else got any other questions? Oh, hang on.
I just asked.
Robin, sorry. Yes, hang on. let me just add spotlight here. This is Robin with a Y's little
Very good.
Yes, thank you. Well done. All right, now we're going to go back. The plumbers are
Just a minute, Robin. You might want to put baking paper underneath, so otherwise the pastry may be stuck on the varoma after it's cooked.
Thank you.
Right,
Thank you, Boon.
right, not a problem.
so you guys are you good? Did you have a question, Karen?
Yeah, Chloe just wanted another demonstration of how to do the leaf one where you push it forward.
Sure.
Okay,
All right, we'll
hold
do
on.
that one more time. All right, hang on. Let me get back into place here first. Okay, let me get another piece of dough going.
And you know what? Really love you guys to do is send me photos. Got my email.
Yes.
Send me photos of what you made so Boon can see.
Yes, that would be fantastic.
Because Boon's doing an absolutely awesome job.
Thank you, Mandy.
Well, you are. You are.
You so are, Boon. Amazing. Honestly, love it.
Thank
So
you.
much. So yeah, so I'm going to give a little plug for this. So we're the multicultural mixers. Anybody want to join us? We learn from each other, and we'd love to have people. We've had, we've got Pearl from India. We've got Siti, who's from Sri Lanka, which I know they're different. There's a difference. We've got, Kaisha's just left us, but she was showing us Polish stuff. We've got Irene's from Greece, me from the UK. Nothing terribly exciting to show you from there, but we've got different nationalities, and it's wonderful, and we would love to have you guys join us.
Okay, let's try the leaf one more time.
Okay, plumbers watching.
Okay, now there can be more filling at the start end of the leaf than towards the end, because as you push it, the filling do get pushed along. So more at the end is fine, but more at the start is fine, not at the end. So what you do is that you pinch it, then you bring it in, then you pull in the side, and each time as you pull in, you still move it forward. All right, then you pull in this side and you move it forward. Now with the commercial wrapper, you definitely can't do this. The pastry is too tough. Here you go.
Beautiful. Better check your dumplings. Don't want them
Yes.
burning.
Okay, but now it's plumber's turn.
Yeah. We can spotlight you if you'd like to show us.
No pressure.
No pressure at all.
Okay, now, so here we go. The base, you want it to be about this brown.
Yeah.
And you can see the skin is now different and it's not that white color. Again, this brown and
Yeah. Amazing.
So-
Boon. They look
so
incredible.
the way you eat it is you put into this,
Ah,
you dip it in, and then you bite into it. Just be careful, it's very hot inside though.
yes. Yeah. That's
That's
absolutely.
it.
That's amazing.
Yum.
Thank you. So any Karen Dale says that they look amazing, which they do.
Thank
Has
you.
anybody got any questions for Boon whilst we've got her here? She's done such an amazing job, and she normally hides. She hides in the Northern Lights and does all the behind the scenes stuff, but it's so nice to be able to spotlight you and show, so we've all learned, I'm sure everyone would agree, we've all learned so much.
Thank you,
I had
Mandy.
no idea about hot water and cold water and everything else. So really appreciate you doing that for us today.
Not a problem. I hope everybody do enjoy and we'll keep making more dumplings.
All right. Okay, so any questions for anybody? No? Cool. Well, remember, if you've been making them, I'd love you to send me a photo of the finished product, please.
Sure.
With them. Thanks, Carmel. So I'm expecting from you, Kelly, the plumbers, and Robin with a Y. Great. Thanks, Alice. Yeah, I will. We have the recording. We will have the recording, and I will send it to you so you can watch it again. Thank you,
Lovely.
ladies. I don't see any gentlemen here, but thank you for coming along. Next Saturday at 4, we're going to do a vegetarian class. So I will send you the link in the follow-up email if you're interested.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, pleasure.
Thanks, guys.
Lovely.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thanks. Bye.
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 Thank you, Boon. Thanks
You're
all.
welcome. Thank you. Irene, I'll bring you some wonton with the noodles.
I was going to say, I love my Uber deliveries.